We'll wait for 30 seconds and then we start. Yeah.
Sure.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for taking out a time to join us for this focused briefing on Atlanta India Trade Fair 2026, scheduled to be held from 21st to the 23rd of April in Atlanta, Georgia, USA. This initiative has been presented in partnership with Georgia Indo-American Chamber of Commerce and CODISSIA, and has also received a strong encouragement from the Consulate General of India in Atlanta in recognition of its potential to strengthen the bilateral trade engagement. Today's session is structured slightly differently from a typical webinar. This is a decision enabling discussion designed to help and assess whether you should join Atlanta India Trade Fair. Over the next 40 to 50 minutes, we will cover who should participate, documentation, the clarity, booth logistics, and on-ground support. We will also have live Q&A towards the end. I will encourage you to post your questions to the Q&A chat box throughout the sessions. We will address as many as possible during the time. In this context, it's my privilege to welcome Mr. Raghavendra Pongshe, Regional President of IACC West India Council, for his formal welcome remark. Over to you, Mr. Pongshe.
Thank you, Vishnu. Namaskar and good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you to today's informative session on the Atlanta India Trade Fair 2026. IACC has, for over 5 decades, stood as a vital bridge between India and the United States, strengthening economic engagement and fostering meaningful business relationships between the two nations. Today, with a strong network of members across diverse sectors, we represent one of the most influential bilateral business chambers dedicated to the Indo-US trade and investment. Our members range from large corporates and multinationals to dynamic MSMEs and emerging entrepreneurs. What binds them together is a common goal: to explore opportunities, build global partnerships, and contribute to growing economic partnership between our two countries. At IACC, we actively facilitate market access, policy advocacy, knowledge sharing, and business networking. Through trade delegations, sector-focused forums, policy dialogues, and international events, we help Indian and American businesses discover the right partners and the right pathways for growth. Our role is not just to connect businesses, but to enable them with insights, credibility, and a trusted ecosystem. In this context, the Atlanta India Trade Fair, AITF 2026, holds special significance for us. AITF is not just an exhibition. It is a strategic gateway for Indian manufacturing and engineering companies looking to enter or expand in the US market. It provides a focused platform to showcase capabilities, understand buyer expectations, and build direct connections with US distributors, partners, buyers, and institutions. For IACC, AITF represents our commitment to taking Indian industry global, especially our strong base of engineering, manufacturing, and technology enterprises. It is about converting intent into opportunity and opportunity into long-term presence in the United States. Today's session is designed to give you clarity, direction, and confidence as you evaluate the US market and consider participating in AITF 2026. Thank you all for joining us today. I encourage you to make this an engaging and insightful session. Please feel free to post your questions in the Q&A chat box. Our speakers will be happy to take them and address them during the discussion. Thank you, and I wish you a very productive webinar. Over to you, Vishnu.
Thank you, Raghu sir, for setting up the tone. Now we move towards the important segment of today's session, the detailed briefing on AITF. To provide the clarity on the US market, ecosystem, structural operation, execution, and the framework, it is my pleasure to invite Mr. S.K. Raj from Georgia Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Raj was the president of GIACC in the year 2020 to 21 and the chairman for 2022 to 23. Raji, over to you.
Thank you very much, Vishnu. Well, very good evening to all of you joining from India, and also some of my colleagues joining from US as well. So, Vishnu, again, Vishnu mentioned, my name is Raj. I represent the Georgia Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. So, to understand why we are doing what we are doing, the Atlanta India Trade Fair, we need to go back a little bit back. So, back in 2022, we looked at all the all the delegations that we've hosted over the years. So Georgia Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, for your information, is the longest continually running Indo Chamber of Commerce in the state of Georgia. We were founded in the year 1999. And so over the years, we have hosted a lot of delegations. We have taken delegations, but we've never been able to measure the success of the delegation because we have the delegations and after that people lose in touch, many people come here. It felt more like a sightseeing on both sides. So we decided, we as the chamber members, we are all volunteers. If we have to spend our time and effort and into this effort, it needs to be measured, and we need to measure the success just like any business organization should do. So with that intention, we started an initiative called GATE, GACC Atlanta Trade Event. So in 2022, we had the state senator, John Ossoff, come and inaugurate the event. And we had participation from all over India, including IACC. So subsequently, we had a very close relationship with CODISSIA in southern India. They reached out and said, we would like to take this further. So we invited them to come to US. A delegation of 52 people, actually representing 43 companies, came in the year 2024. And then subsequently, in 25, we took a delegation of 25 businesses from US to India. Well, how did we measure our success? We have had 13 new companies from India that have started in the state of Georgia. They have presence here, they have hired people, and they have also started their operations and business. Similarly, back in India, we have 2 companies already in the process of starting in India. So that is how we measure success. Now, not just companies starting. As soon as the delegation went from here, even before they started their businesses there, 2 of the delegates actually were able to secure an order for about $500,000 from here in Georgia before even they went home. So that is how we measure our success. Well, why am I mentioning all this? For us, it is very important that each of you as a delegate coming here with your exhibition, that you go back home with at least 4 to 5 solid prospects, not just suspects, prospects. That is the objective for what we have as Atlanta Indian Trade Fair. Couple more objectives that I want to share with you. Number one, we want to help through this trade fair small and medium businesses. We are not interested with the very large businesses because the very large businesses have resources, they have connections, they're probably already present in this market, and therefore they don't need our support. But we want to help you small and medium businesses. Well, why do we want to help you small and medium businesses? Because the small and medium businesses are on the kind of fence, right? You want to do it, but you're not sure, but it'll also cost you a lot of money. So that's where GIACC comes. So for us, this Atlanta India Trade Fair is only the beginning of a relationship. We don't expect you to come here, have you for trade fair, shake your hands, and then say goodbye and be done. Every single delegate that came in 2024, we are still in touch with them, and we're still talking to them and saying, 13 of you have started. What happened to the balance? Why the balance 30 of you have not started? What is stopping you? Well, how do we do that? We have relationship in the state of Georgia here with the Georgia Economic Development Council, the Small Business Development Council, Corporate Council, and then including the governor's office. Well, what can they do? Here are the interesting things. Once you form a company here, which takes less than 30 minutes to form and about only $35 for anybody to incorporate a company, we actually introduce you to the Small Business Development Corporation, and they will, for free of charge, do a market research for you for your product and tell you all the potential buyers and companies that can buy your products in the region. This entire database is not only shared with you. If you tell them, they will also be able to reach those companies on your behalf and request meetings on your behalf. So that is the kind of support. You will be able to get support in terms of reaching the market and all of that. Again, the other thing is, why Georgia, why Atlanta? Everybody asks. So if you look at the US, the manufacturing used to be in the steel belt, as it is called, the Midwest, Ohio, and those regions. That has changed in US. It has all moved to the Southeast US. Georgia, under the Republican administration here, has been the #1 state for businesses to start and move for the past 12 to 14 years continually. It has the port of Savannah. It has the port of Brunswick. Its airport, the Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson, is the busiest airport in the world as well. So logistics-wise, it is very strong. State subsidies and all of that is extremely strong. That is exactly one of the primary reasons why you should be coming here. From here, Georgia can help you enter into not just the US market, but 13 other countries around the world as well, where Georgia has offices. So what we want to request to you is, come to this trade fair because of the following reasons. This is the first trade fair that is purely focused on Indian manufacturers. Many companies from India come for trade fairs, but they are part of a large trade fair where you have a booth, right? But the local companies will probably spend $100,000 to $200,000 and have a massive pavilion. And if you're going to be present in one corner, you're really not getting the top exposure. In this trade fair, it's purely meant for Indian manufacturers of components and products. The software companies and others who are possibly just focusing on software, they have their presence, but we felt that India needs to project manufacturing. Well, why should we do that? We are at a very, very short window in history where the relationship between in US and China is really becoming very fraught. In fact, 2 days back, there was an article from Wall Street Journal saying how the US-China relationship is heading for a divorce. And that is true. You probably have heard in the news. US sees China as a geopolitical and strategic disadvantage to US's dominance in the world. So US is trying to distance itself from China as far as possible, because China's economy and its growth has been fueled by all the US investments and the US manufacturing that has moved to China. With all that money, what China has been able to do is not only invest in its infrastructure, it's been able to invest in its influence, particularly in the countries in Africa, all over Asia. And that to US is a geopolitical disadvantage, and US sees as a threat. And so therefore, and also the US knows that it cannot actually control China because it's not a democratic country. And that's why it sees as a threat. Because of that, all the manufacturers in US are facing severe tariffs from products coming from China, and it is making their businesses not very viable. So they're looking at alternatives. Now, India is in a very small window, as I said, because US and India share a same value system. We have democracy here. It's a huge country. And the other big advantage, many Indians are English speaking, which means language is not a barrier. It's a free democratic country that both countries can visit. And more importantly, it has the breadth and depth required for a country like US to build relationships. Yes, there are other small Asian countries like Taiwan and Korea, but they're all small, they're landlocked, and they have their own set of problems. So that is why we are highly encouraging you that you have the small window to come, because in my own professional life, I run a technology services company where we provide engineering services. Our customers are asking us, hey, can you help us source from India? We don't know where to start. So what we are telling the buyers in US are, we are bringing India to you. Because just like if you were to come to US and look for buyers, you may not know where to start. You're probably going to think, okay, I have to go to maybe New York, Chicago, or Houston, but you don't know where or who to meet. Similarly, for people from here, if they were to come to India, they wouldn't know where to go, right? That is why we want to bring all of you here and create a buyer-seller meet and allow the US buyers to meet and interact, right? That is our objective. And there is a whole lot of details I've not covered, but in the interest of this conversation, I'm going to let Vishnu moderate and flow and have it in a Q&A format. Please feel free to ask all the questions very specifically related to the trade fair. We had shared some links. We had also shared in our website. You will find not only information about the trade fair, we've also posted some frequently asked questions, both from an exhibitor perspective and from an attendee perspective as well. We hope you have seen it. Even if you have not seen it, it's okay. Please feel free to ask your questions. So Vishnu, back to you to post for the Q&A session.
Thank you
You're
so
on
much,
mute,
Ajay.
Vishnu.
Yes, thank you so much, Ajay. I request everyone to please post your questions on the Q&A chat box. We have three questions right now. I'm just reading out the first one, sir. As a service provider and having presence in Atlanta, Georgia, will this trade fair be benefited to our company? We are into construction and architectural service. What is the major category of industry that is attending this event? So,
That's an excellent question. Thank you, Vishnu. So the way that we are creating the marketing plan to invite attendees is actually two ways, right? Number one is, first thing is as soon as a company registers, we have the head of our marketing for this event, one by name Gautam Dembla, will reach out to each exhibitor individually, right? During the initial conversation, his objective will be to sit down and understand what the exhibitor's business is and to find out who their potential customers are, right? With that information, we try to match the NAICS code and SAC code. So these are codes in US that classifies every business in US, whatever business you're doing, whether you're manufacturing or service or whatever it is you're doing, we try to match that. We know every business has a NAICS SAC code. So that code of your prospective customers or the customers that would belong to that code, we take that information, give it to our partner, the Small Business Development Council, and they actually pull all prospective buyers with that NACS code, all companies, right? We take that information, we share it with the exhibitor individually, and we also put it into our marketing, and we reach out to the exhibitors and say, hey, here is a company coming and they offer services or products that are in line with what you're looking for. Please do come for the trade fair. We also encourage each exhibitor to use that database to reach out directly and say, please come visit us at this booth, and then to invite them to attend. So those are the two ways we are doing. So that is how. So if you already have a presence and if you're doing architectural services, good. So one thing I do want to mention here, take this opportunity, this is an industrial trade fair with products and components. While we do encourage some service providers, but it has to be related to industrial products and components and manufacturing some way. So I think the architecture can fall in it because that is seen here as a very productive housing, and this thing is a big thing. So we don't know what industry you're on. Feel free to write to us privately, and then we will tell you if it is right and you should be here as well.
perfect, sir. So moving to the next one, this is quite interesting. If a member wants to join and not exhibit, can they get an opportunity to have B2B meetings and visit delegates? Would that be possible as an attendee?
So it's an interesting question. Yes, you are welcome to attend. We are inviting attendees to come from India as well as US. So if you don't want to be an exhibitor, that is perfectly fine. However, having said that, if you look at the cost of registration, let me just tell you, typically in US, there is no trade fair that you can be an exhibitor for anything less than $7,000 to $10,000. The really good, very big ones go up to $20,000 to $30,000. We are charging only $1,500. And the reason for that is, and that $1,500 really goes towards creating the backdrop we are giving for everybody that they can collapse and take it with them. It'll be just a 31-pound small collapsible, but it's a beautiful 10 feet by 8 feet, three-sided backdrop printed in full color with the collapsible aluminum frame. The reason we are doing it is when we sat down with the consulate here, Indian consulate here, we agreed that we want to encourage small and medium businesses and keep the cost at a minimal cost. So the cost of the booth is literally less than your airfare. We have plenty of space for booth. Please, we encourage you to put a booth. While you can come as an attendee, we really will not be able to help you to set up those meetings and so on and so forth. So you can interact and network. We absolutely have no problem, but we encourage you to take a booth. It really doesn't cost a whole lot. And you are going to take back your investment of the $1,500, $1,000 close to it is the backdrop itself. And rest of it, we are spending on the furniture and such. So we are not trying to, as an organization, make money. We want to help you come here along with the Indian consulate and the Indian Commerce Ministry. So we encourage you to come as an exhibitor, even though you can come as an attendee.
Perfect, sir. Perfect. So a couple of questions on service sector. How do you suggest that service sector, specifically into data, AI, analytics service for global clients, would this be a good setup for them as a service industry?
So we do have some companies that are coming in this space. We have a company from the south that is coming that is focused on selling products to manufacturing clients. So if you fall in that category, if your clientele, part of your clientele is manufacturing, definitely please feel free to come, register and come. We do have some service providers being here. Yes,
Perfect,
that
sir.
is perfectly fine.
Yeah, perfect, sir. So again, a sector specific question, if we can have electronics and semiconductor sector, would you suggest them to participate?
Fantastic question, because we are actually in talks right now with Elsina and they are actually coming. In fact, Elsina's past president Sanjay Agarwal is coming here in 2 weeks to meet with us to discuss exactly this. So semiconductors and electronics, we certainly welcome you, because we are planning to invite now in Georgia and surrounding Georgia are the largest plants of Kia outside of Korea. We have BMW plant in Spartanburg, which is like around 1.5 hours from here. We have the Mercedes plant in Alabama. Through the help of Georgia Chamber, which is a chamber of chambers, we're inviting all the buyers from these large automotive manufacturing plants. There's a Toyota plant, Kia plant, Mercedes, BMW, Porsche is headquartered here, Mercedes is headquartered here, North America. They all move their headquarters from New Jersey and other places to all in Georgia. So Georgia is the place where it is all happening. We absolutely welcome electronics. That would be a very good industry to represent here at AITF. Yes, it's a good industry. Please do come.
Perfect,
Thank
perfect.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Raj. Possibly another very important point. I'm not sure, or I would like to request you to reiterate. What does this exhibition booth consist of? How does it look like? What is it, how they have to bring the panel, showcase what it is, etc. Those are some of the information the participants would like to know.
Excellent. So, Vishnu, can you allow me to share the screen? I just want to show the screen for a brief second.
Sure.
Okay.
You can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, let me show. So I want to show the screen here. The hall itself is about 37,500 square feet. So it's a fairly large hall, and it is actually partitioned. The entire hall is about 120,000, or I think 1.2 million. I mean, so it is a very, very large hall. And we have taken one of the halls, which is 37,500 square feet. And we have plenty of space to have as many booths as we want, up to 100 or more. So what we are doing is we are cordoning it off, and we are setting up the booths in the format that you see in the top left of your screen, right? Each booth will get this particular backdrop that you see here. If you see the dimension, it's a three-sided display, and it is a collapsible aluminum frame that once the trade fair is over, you can collapse. We'll give you a bag to carry it. You can take it and use it in any other trade fair. We are not going to print anything related to Atlanta, India Trade Fair there. All we insist is that on the top middle, that your company name is there in a standard format on all the booths. That's it. Rest of the booth, you can give any artwork you want. We will have it printed and ready and at the booth for you there, right? So each booth is going to be about 10 feet wide and 9 feet deep. And there will be no sidewalls or anything. It's a very open format trade fair, and we will be putting tapes on the ground to demarc, and the booth will also have a table and a chair for you to sit in the booth and whatever display you want to bring. And we will also provide you a 5 amp circuit, 120 volt power outlet. In addition to it, if you see here, we are going to set up these discussion areas where you can sit down and discuss with your prospective buyers and so on and so forth. So it's going to be a very open, welcoming format. So it's not going to be rows and rows of people walking. As you walk in, we want to have the sense that the attendees can go to any booth freely and approach, and everything is visible. So no booth is hidden and nobody has a disadvantage. So that is the format that we're going to have. And, this is something that we will share with the Vishnu and Sujata and Robin and others, and they'll be able to share with you. This was a brochure actually created by one of our partners, CODISSIA, and for their members on projecting and promoting all the details of the trade fair. So Sujata, I hope that answered your question on how the booth will be and what will be provided as part of the book.
Yeah, absolutely. That is very helpful. By the time we move on to the next question, Raj, since Anita is going to be with us for a few more minutes, should we touch upon the US visa procedures, the process that she would like to share among? So that clarifies some of the US related, if people who are applying for visas, that may be very helpful, Anita.
Yes, very happy to be here. I'm the current chairperson of GIACC, and we are really looking forward to seeing many of your members joining us for this trade fair. So very briefly, you're going to require, if you want to come to the US for this trade fair, it's going to be a visitor visa, a business visitor visa, which is the B1, B2 visa. Current processing times at US consular posts in India are varying between 1.5 months to 2.5 months. So we really are on that deadline because our trade fair is in April. Ideally, I would recommend, those of you who already have US visitor visas, it would be, much easier for you to come. The Chamber is providing invitation letters to those who are exhibiting at our trade fair. And that is now on your screen, basically giving the US consulate or embassy information about the trade fair, about the Chamber and our partners, including IACC. Along with that, as you know, a visitor visa is a temporary visit visa to the US. So it is important for you when you go for your interview to be able to reassure the consular officer that your purpose to visit the US is only temporary and that you will be returning to the country of your permanent residence, which is India. We will be providing these invitation letters only, of course, if you are going to be attending and participating in our trade fair. Most importantly, we would not like it to be misused because it will affect the reputation of both the IACC and the Georgia Indo-American Chamber. Luckily, we don't have the backlogs that we were seeing in past years. Last year, the B was taking almost like 9 months to a year. Those long wait times have reduced drastically, and it is about 2.5 months, as I said. However, that is still placing you at the cusp to attend this trade fair. So you would require to take a quick decision if you are applying for a visitor visa. Any questions?
Just to add to what Anita said the last time, when we had the 52-member delegation, nobody was rejected. Every single person, because we have very good relationship in terms of how we have potentially use the visa process. So that's why, like Anita said, when we give an invitation, it has a lot of weight, and we have a good relationship with the US consulate in Chennai. The consulate general there actually is from Marietta, Georgia, right here in Atlanta, Georgia as well. So any other consulate that you go, we also at the time we had the senator talk to the ambassador in US and then encourage at the time. So we don't see any issues. We encourage you to apply for the visa immediately. The first step is, of course, register in the website as an exhibitor. Immediately we'll see your names, apply for the visa, get the letter from us, and go for your interview. You should be fine, is what we would like to add.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. I think interestingly, we have quite a lot of questions. So I'm just going to try quickly combine some of the questions so that we give a wholesome answers instead of going one by one. So probably going back again, the earlier question that electronic manufacturers can participate. So some of the questions come in, we are a ERP or an IT solution provider, whether we can attend number one, and there is if they are into oil and gas manufacturing, if we are into a toy manufacturing company. So these are all some questions that have come up. If you can give a consolidated response to this, people can plan accordingly. Thank you.
Excellent. So that is a very good question. So this goes back to what I was saying earlier. The way we are going to market is, we are not marketing this trade fair en masse saying, hey, here are manufacturers from India, come to the trade fair. No, it's going to be very, very targeted marketing, meaning that as soon as you register as an exhibitor, we will talk to you individually and we will tailor make a marketing plan for your booth and then add it to our total plan. So it's good. So if you're a toy maker and coming here, we will certainly add this thing and say, there is going to be a toy maker exhibitor. Please come. You may want to come. Like that, we are going to actually tailor towards that. I do want to emphasize that we are not expecting this to be like a consumer trade fair. So if you are putting up as a toy manufacturer, we are looking at your buyers being companies that would buy toys to actually or collaborate with you to manufacture toys or buy toys from you and distribute here and things like that, but not consumers who will actually come and buy the toys. So that is the small distinction I want to make. So absolutely, electronics, toys, anything you manufacture, castings, components, products, whatever the category is, please register. The minute you register, we will reach out to you and we'll create a plan so long as you're manufacturing a product, assembly, or components. ERP, yes, sure, because I'm assuming as an ERP provider, you have modules for either, all ERPs generally have the finance modules. Many of them have the, obviously sales and distribution and materials management. I'm assuming you also have some production. So if you have that, feel free to come, because everybody who's coming is going to be a manufacturer of sorts. They're coming to look for casting supplier or electronic components. So certainly that is a thing, and we will certainly be happy to market your booth as well. Sure, yes, you can come.
Yeah, thank you. The same applies to if you're a software company but catering to the manufacturing sector, you're most welcome. If you're an aerospace company, yes, R&D companies, there are quite a few questions which have come up for R&D. We are doing aerospace, die castings, all are most welcome, part and parcel of
Sujata, let me just add to this. In Georgia, we have Gulfstream, the largest private aircraft manufacturer, private jets, and we also have Lockheed Martin. And Lockheed Martin is the largest supplier, is largest defense manufacturer in the world. They already are sourcing components from Hyderabad, HAL, and others. That would be a good thing to come from the trade fair. Lockheed Martin here in Atlanta is about 30-40 minutes. We are going to invite some buyers from Lockheed Martin. Whether they'll come depends on what you're trying to exhibit here and whether they find value in it. Yes, so this place has a lot of aerospace manufacturers. These are the two big ones, but there are lots of other aerospace manufacturers, both total aircraft manufacturers and people who supply, things like landing gear, the fuselage, the electronics, controls, and all of that. So yes, aerospace is a big industry in Georgia as well.
Just to
So
add,
that's yeah.
package manufacturing as well as part of it, packing material manufacturers. Yes.
That, yes. In fact, we have graphic packaging, we have Georgia Pacific. These are the giants of the manufacturing space in US. So you are coming here to the right place. All of these people are here because Georgia has one of the largest forest product industries here. And so all these people packaging to a large extent because of the amount of forest we have in US, it's a big industry here. Even if your packaging is related to cardboards and aluminum cans and all of that. In fact, Novelis is headquartered here. Now it's become an Aditya Birla company. They're also headquartered here. So most of the companies that you would want to interact with or look at, they're all headquartered here in Georgia for a reason, because this is like a central location here.
Thank you. Vishnu, would you like to?
Yes, that's we have a question saying that I'm a heavy parts and assembly fabricator. Bringing in heavy equipments, how can we exhibit besides the booth or the brochure which you've shown? So what is the next way, as in after registering, if you can, yeah.
That is a good question. So we do have some exhibitors. In fact, one of the exhibitors, their product is actually a lift, which is like a do-it-yourself or like garages where you can lift a car, and it's a pretty compact one. But they do want to have provision to actually have a car under this thing. As I said, not only is the trade fair venue large, the trade fair parking ground is also, it's a massive trade fair. So you have to, I don't know how to describe it. The provision for parking cars alone runs into thousands and thousands of cars, and that is just one level. It's not even multi-level parking. It's located right next to the Atlanta airport. So not only is it convenient for exhibitors, because once you land, you're literally 5 minutes from the airport and everything is close by, but all the buyers who are coming and attendees coming also, they don't have to face the traffic problems that Atlanta is generally infamous for. So you can display. If you have anything to display outdoors also, we can help you with that. In terms of logistics of bringing it, one of the partner organizations, CODISSIA, they're organizing a container and they're putting everything in it and sending in as many containers as required. We encourage you to talk to your leadership. So I assume, Vishnu, Raghavendra, all of you can answer the logistics of bringing it here. It is right next to the airport. So, all, 2-3 hours from the port. So if you have some large things that you want to bring to display, we also have in our membership, one of our past presidents by name David Gall. He is actually an importer of Indian products for over 30-40 years. So if you want to send it to him, he can help you completely. He has actually lived in India. He knows very well all this process, the Indian laws, as well as the US import laws for trade fairs and actually conducting business. So we will introduce you to him and he can help you get your goods in time and then display it here at the trade fair.
Perfect, sir. Perfect. So just one more question, which it shows that they were looking at research and development team if they would want to join as a booth exhibitor or a visitor. Is that okay for them?
I don't think it's a problem. So if the research and development is relevant or related to somebody saying, hey, you want to actually develop a supply chain system in India, you want to choose a manufacturer and so on and so forth, we can help you. I think it certainly makes sense. The distinction that I want to make people to understand is that this is not a software trade fair. This is not a consumer trade fair. It's an industrial products and components manufacturing and related to manufacturing. So an ERP that's related to manufacturing. So the clientele are manufacturers in the US. Anyway, they're coming as buyers to buy something. So that is a good fit, right? But if you're saying that I'm purely a service provider and I have nothing else, I'm expecting consumers, well, this is not the trade fair. So I hope that distinction is clear. So if the service provider is a service provider that provides research and development for companies to enter a market or something, sure. Or if they are a research and development for products, hey, we do R&D for products and we tell you the viability, the manufacturing cost, and so on and so forth, that is also absolutely fine, I think. So what we encourage is reach out to us directly. Vishnu, I encourage you to share our contact information with everybody on the call.
Yes.
please tell them to reach out to us, and we are happy to answer their questions as well, or talk to us. No problem.
Absolutely, sir. So by when can they share their wish list? Can you cater to any wish list if they share? That's one of the, exhibitors who's asked. Yeah.
In terms of wish list, meaning the list of buyers that
Potential customers. Yeah.
Yes, very good question. As soon as you register as an exhibitor, you are visible in our system, and we will reach out to you immediately after that. And we will set up a call and we'll start talking to you. Literally a few days after that, we will share with you, because we will be contacting our partner, the Georgia UGA Small Business Development Corporation Council. And this council is a service provided by free of state of Georgia, very extensive database they have access to. And whatever they give, we will share with you immediately after that.
Again, now this question is related to the booth, sir. What all will be in the booth? That is one. Second is, can they have LCD or LED display in the booth? Will there be any assistant in manning the booth?
Okay, so good question. So in the booth, just like I showed this thing, so let me just pull that thing again. Give me 1 second. Let me share my screen here. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so the booth, as you can see here, will consist of a space of 10 feet wide by 9 feet deep space, right? And we will mark the floor. There are no walls in the side or anything. In the back, however, each exhibitor will be given a display like this, right? Now they can give the artwork. We will send you the template for it, and they can give any artwork they want printed. The only thing mandatory will be in the top, there will be a box where their company name will be visible. That's it. No other thing. It's a 3-sided collapsible aluminum display backdrop that you can collapse and take back home into a small suitcase, right? So this backdrop, as I said, this is the dimension, and we'll of course share this with you. We will share this with you after the call. So the booth will have this backdrop. We will provide a table in the front, and then we will also give you 2 chairs, right? In addition to it, there is a 5 amp 120 volt connection. So if you want to display a TV, absolutely you can do it. The venue itself has an a la carte of all kinds of things that you can get from them. We can give you the information. They can even provide water connection, gas connection, heavy power, whatever you want, they can do it. But as far as for the $1,500 package, you get the backdrop, you get the table, 2 chairs, and a power outlet. And everything else outside of that, you can arrange it yourself, or you can take the venue folks that we will introduce you to you. And in terms of manning the booth, we are expecting at least 2 people from your side to up to 2 people per booth to man the booth. But if you want people from here there are companies that provide people to represent. We can also invite some volunteers, like students who may be interested in volunteering and representing a booth. Let us know if you need that help, and we can reach out to some local universities where we have relationship here. And there are a huge community of Indian students here. Some of the best institutions in the country, like Georgia Tech, is located in Atlanta, and that is literally like 10 minutes from the venue. So Georgia Tech, University of Georgia, GSU, Kennesaw State University, Savannah College of Arts and Design, Kennesaw State University. So many schools are here with a large Indian population. So if you feel comfortable, hey, we would love for some Indian students to represent, so they'll understand. We will certainly talk to the Indian Students Association there, and I think they might be open to helping you out in manning the booth if you want.
Perfect. Perfect, Raji. One, can we verify HSN code of our products and services before deciding to participate? That's like, can we do something like that, sir?
Sure, why not? Please go ahead and share the code again. So the code we are talking about is not the code of the exhibitor. We are talking the code of your customers, right? That is how we want to target, right? So if you tell us, hey, I already have these customers in US, then we can find out their code. Or you can say, these are the kinds of customers that we want to target. We would love to sell to these companies. We would request you to go to the NAICS website and SAC code website. Simply just type NAICS and SAC, and I'll ask Vishnu to share what exactly NAICS stands for. And you can find out the code of your prospective customer and share with us and say, this is the type of customer that we would like to target. We use that information and find all the companies, organizations with that code in US. And that is how we are marrying your exhibitor booth to your prospective buyers. I hope that answers the
Yeah,
question.
that definitely answers, sir. A couple of more questions because of the limitation of the
Please.
time. What is your experience and the number of visitors that can be expected this time?
Okay, that is an excellent question. So let me answer it this way. This is again an industrial trade fair. We are not expecting people who are just coming to browse the trade fair. So this is not like a boat show or a car show where you have people in the thousands coming and just looking at what the trade fair is and all of that. So we are expecting about 200 to 300 attendees over the 2 or 3 days. It could be more or it could be a little less. But the main thing is these are going to be qualified people that we've invited. So these are all going to be buyers. Now, again, one more thing you need to understand. If each exhibitor, because of their booth, is able to attract 3 to 5, those buyers are not coming just for your booth. They're also going to every other booth. You see how it multiplies? So that's where it gets effect. So everybody can benefit from everybody else. Look at it collectively. All of us together can prosper. That is the message that we want to give you. Because a buyer coming for booth 3 could be the buyer for booth 32, except they may not know. So that's what it is. So this is not a trade fair with people thronging. It's more a very targeted buyer base.
Perfect, sir. Yes, Sujata ma'am.
So Raj, to add on, the participants would like to know two aspects. One is, are we giving a package of hotels and other arrangements can be done, they stay, etc. Whether do we have any tie-up for that? Point number one. And point number two, though they are coming for an industrial, as an exhibitor, if any of them would like to have their family members also to join and they would like to be part of it, so whether they can still apply and they can approach for the visa process through this. So on that note, as a tourist, since they are coming all the way, whether they can also have family members to join for a tour or something like that.
Well, that's a good question. So let me answer the question in 2 parts since you asked in 2 parts. So the first thing is, as far as the travel arrangements coming to US and how you want to travel here and house yourself in a hotel here, all of that, we are leaving it to folks in India. And the reason for that is some of them seem to want to plan their own travel because they want to come earlier or stay later, visit their customers or friends, family, whatever they want to do. Having said that, CODISSIA, actually, when they came the last time, they actually worked with a tour company by name Tibro, and they created a very good package. Similar to that, we encourage you to talk to your leadership and come up with the plan, right? Even though the trade fair is 21st to 23 of April, 20th is the setup day. So we want you to come. It's a Monday. So we would encourage you to come in the weekend, take a day to overcome jet lag, come to the venue on Monday, make sure your booth is in all its place, you put your display and things like that so that you familiarize yourself with what is going to happen over the next 3 days and so on and so forth, right? So that is one part. And the other thing is hotels in US, if you were to book directly, you're not going to get the best deal. The best deal is always given to the tour companies because they buy a block of rooms, right? So if you come to a hotel and then if you're like 30 people and you're staying there for 3 nights, that's 13 to 3, 90 rooms that they're blocking. So they give a very good deal. But if you go individually, at best you're doing the 3 nights, right? So that is why we encourage you to talk to a tour company. In fact, before all of you joined, we were having a brief conversation with Raghavendra, and he mentioned that you have some tie-ups with companies. So we encourage you to join. Mostly what we have seen when delegates come is everybody comes together, but going back after the trade fair is over, people go to their own destinations in terms of visiting friends, family, customers, and then they come back by themselves. So you can also certainly do that. That's what we would encourage. right connected to the hotel. The venue itself, there are 3 hotels, a Hilton, Marriott, and a suite, where you can actually, even a suite here would be where you can even cook your own small things if you're this thing, right? So you can certainly plan that way, stay right near the venue, so you won't even need transportation. Or there are about 60 to 70 hotels to 5 to 10 minutes driving distance from the venue. So that shouldn't be a problem. As far as visas for others, we don't mind, please, we welcome everybody coming, including family coming. As of now, we are helping folks who are exhibitors. So if we see your name as a booth representative in our system saying you're registered, and these are the 2 people, those are the 2 people that we are helping to get the visa and give invitation letter because you're coming for the trade fair. As far as helping the family is concerned, please reach out to us on a case-to-case basis. We will see internally, and if we think that we can certainly help you in any way, we will help you. But we promise to help you if you're an exhibitor with your exhibitor representation. Rest of them, case-to-case basis, certainly reach out. We have had some families and spouses come in the past, and we would certainly love for you to visit our great country as well.
Thank you.
Perfect. Perfect, sir. Yes.
So just to interject here,
Please, sir.
if you allow me to. So Raj, just to summarize, we are saying that it's a sector agnostic trade fair, which is focused on getting qualified attendees who meet the exhibitors, right? And not a general trade fair where you have large footfalls.
Correct.
Just for my understanding. Is the
Correct.
understanding correct?
Perfect.
Perfect. And once the exhibitor kind of expresses his interest and registers as an exhibitor, then the potential customer-related activities will embark. Is that the correct process?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Just for clarification of people who are
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you.
That's a good summary. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Raghu sir. Thank you, Mr. Raj, for this comprehensive overview. Now we move towards a formal conclusion. It was my privilege to have Mr. Prabhu Bala to deliver the vote of thanks. Mr. Bala is a strong pillar and has been supportive of this initiative, along with Mr. Pongshe, our national president, Mr. Anup Acharya. We are grateful for all these leaders and their guidance. Sir, may I kindly request you to share your final remarks?
Before
Yes.
Prabhu says, I just want to add, Prabhu was his company was the first company from IACC to register. So he is an exhibitor. So he puts his money where his mouth is. So we welcome Prabhu. Thank you very much for registering. We are looking forward to, in fact, he is actually coming to Atlanta. I literally, on your behalf, next month, just to check out and make sure we are all genuine. So if you have any doubts, Prabhu is going to spend 2 days here in Atlanta with us, visiting the venue, meeting with us, meeting the Indian consul and all of that. So I just want to mention that. And also the other thing is, because of the visa processing times, please register immediately so you can get your visa process started. With that, I'll hand it to Vishnu. Yes, Prabhu, please.
Yeah, hi, Vishnu. Thank you very much. I think it's been a very informative webinar. Thank you, Raj. And the first time I was getting introduced to Raj in a similar webinar, online call. Raj was saying that you can reach me 24/7, and that's kind of a dialogue everyone speaks, right? And he said it doesn't matter it's day or night, and I tried it and it worked. He picked up the call. So that's his dedication to this entire program. And he is a man with full of energy. I never seen anyone with so much of enthusiasm. So yeah, that is Raj, and he is so much passionate about getting this to be a big success. And of course, the chairperson Anita, she is the new chairperson for the chamber. And some of the letters my colleagues received as a recommendation letter for visa. It's well drafted, and it's from the chamber, right? It's not from a private company, it's from the chamber, and they are sure to get those visas, because when you are a legitimate exhibitor, you are sure to get the visas. That is one. And of course, this is not the first time this program is happening. We have one of the vibrant, chamber in South India, CODISSIA. They've already been there, and there are few people, like Raj said, who have in fact started their own company in the US. And also the US people have been to Coimbatore. So, this is a proven expo. And trust me, I have been to many expos in the US. I've been doing business in the US for the last almost 10 years. There is no one expo where somebody says, "Give me the list of customers." We would send an invite and get them to meet you. I mean, even if you pay $10,000, that's not going to happen because you're going to be one among few 100,000 people, right? So this chamber is very special, and in fact, they have got a full-time person who's going to do this. So when you register your company or register yourself, this person who is dedicated for finding out the potential customers for you, if you don't know, or if you know the name of the companies, they would be more than happy to reach out to them. And like Raj said, my own colleague on my own company is one of the beneficiaries of this program. So that is CODISSIA, and thanks to Karthikeyan and Ponuram, who did introduce Raj and the entire team to us. And of course, my own colleagues, Raghav, and the rest of the IACC, people, I would say, Vishnu has been instrumental in making this webinar, Sujata and Robin and everybody, we have been taking active part. And please do reach out to us. IACC is Pan India. We are located in all the major cities. So please reach out to us or to Atlanta Chamber, whichever works for you. And we will all be very happy to welcome you to Atlanta. And like Raj said, I'll be there mid of March, and I will personally meet Raj and the entire team, and also visit the expo center so that I can share some updates. So it's going to be a great program, and there is so much of calls to all the office bearers, and we are getting so busy in answering questions. So that itself looks like it's going to be a great event. So and before I end, usually, small and medium business, in India is always looking at, the money spent in traveling to the US. I know it's not cheap. You try economy class, at least it's 2 lakh of rupee, and then added to the cost of exhibition. But trust me, this small investment is going to reap big benefits, right? So that is exactly one has to take into account. It's not that this one visit, the success lies in how you follow up on the visit, right? I mean, how you follow up on emails and phone calls, and how quick you go back to them on the second visit. And for all those, definitely, Raj and his team can guide you through the process. So with that, thank you note. I thank everyone for the time, and the team in Atlanta Chamber. Thank you very much, and really looking forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you,
So
Prabhu.
much.
Just last parting shot. Remember, $1 is 90 rupees. So if you can earn 90 times more in dollars, why would you not do that? Think about that, please.
Absolutely.
So
Thank you.
probably in the conclusion, to all the exhibitors who are interested to exhibit, we also encourage you to enroll, register as a member of the chamber as well. And then we would be happy to take it forward and coordinate further with this. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you. And being a member really helps. Member of IACC really helps you because, if you're first time traveler to the US, we can guide you through the process. And we are right here in Chennai, and, people in Mumbai and Delhi. So we're all throughout the country. So absolutely, it'll be a great pleasure for us to guide you through this process. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.